3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, traders. How are you? I hope you are well on this beautiful morning. The sun is shining. Guys, yeah, this is the live stream. This is your opportunity to get as many questions over to me as you can. So yeah, anything to do with trading, guys. Maybe you're in a pair that you're not sure about. Maybe you need help with psychology, money management, some trading techniques, whatever you need, guys. Yeah, let me know. Ask me a question and I'll be happy to answer it for you. I am just checking on my phone that I can see all of your questions, guys. So Jade, morning Jade, hello, how are you? Hamed, hi Hamed, how are you? So yes, I can see your questions. So yeah, just put your questions in the live chat and we'll get through as many as we can. Also, guys, we'll take a quick look back at yesterday's trades. We only had the one trade that we took yesterday, one setup, which I will talk to you about in a minute. And then we'll also look at the important trades for today. Lots of yen selling pressure yesterday. Yeah, so yen was super strong. Yeah, so there's lots of potential yen pair setups. And then also, guys, we'll go through the important news for today as well. We will do all of these things today. Okay, busy, busy, busy. Before I start and before my editor beats me, 3 things, guys. Don't forget the Discord channel. The link is in the video description. There's loads of traders on there sharing ideas, knowledge, and just generally talking about trading and becoming friends, which is very nice. Secondly, guys, live stream. You obviously know about the live stream because you are here with me. But we do these every Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. London GMT. So come join us for this one and the next one and the next one and the next one. Okay, and finally, guys, if you would like to be mentored by myself one-on-one, then drop us an email. All the information is in the video description. Okay, guys, so like I say, get all your questions over to me when you have a question. We're going to start today, guys, with yesterday's trades. Okay, and this is one trade that I did take. So trade idea, one of the trade ideas from yesterday was this. It was the pound against the Canadian dollar, and we were looking to short this pair, guys. All right, so because of this, if we start on the weekly chart, guys, it was a bit of a weekly play. So I'm going to draw in this weekly area here, okay, just to show you why I was looking for shorts. All right, so as you can see, guys, this gray zone that I've just drawn in was a very important weekly level. Yeah, we reacted here, 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 and now it's potentially reacting here. Okay, so that's what I was seeing on the weekly chart. And remember, guys, do a top-down approach. So that's the weekly chart. Let's zoom in just so we can see. Yeah, we've had a bit of a doji red candle, not super bearish, but again, I still think we have a bit of room to the downside because things are so overbought. So that's what I was seeing on the weekly chart, guys. And then if we drop down to the day chart, what was I seeing here? So yeah, in our gray zone, this large gray zone, which was our weekly area of resistance. Let me remove that now. 1 second. Still getting used to trader view, guys. Bear with me. All right, and then there, as you can see, ever since we've hit that gray zone, price has been pushing down. Okay, so these candles are bearish. Okay, yesterday's candle doesn't fill me with confidence. Yeah, because this is still a doji, but it's had a bit of a push up from our target and the moving average 20. So I probably wouldn't still keep shorting this today. But let's drop down to the H1 chart now and see how I traded this pair. Guys, let me just check I'm receiving your questions okay. 1 second. Aha, no, I'm not receiving them, but now I am. Morning, Song Love. Morning, Kev, how are you? All right, morning, guys. Nice to have you on. Welcome. So yeah, so pound Canadian dollar, guys. Yeah, so we were looking for a couple of things to happen here. So price potentially come up to here. Yeah, we get a retest of these highs and then we come lower. But obviously, guys, that didn't happen. You have eyes, you can see that didn't happen. But what we did get was a breakdown of this gray zone, because another trade idea was a break, retest, come lower. All right, and that's what we did get. But let me show you exactly what candles I entered on and what I was looking for. So as soon as we got a break of these lows, yeah, it was this candle that did it. Yeah, this red candle broke these lows. All right, so on the H1, we're still clearly in a downward structure and we've now got lower lows. All right, so I like this candle and it was very bearish. The problem I had was this, guys. Yeah, if I entered on the close of this candle, then this is my reward. Okay, and then this would have to be my risk, arguably here or even here. So it didn't quite make sense in terms of risk to reward. So when I saw this candle, I said to myself, you will have to wait for a very, large retracement. All right. And that's exactly what happened, guys. So I actually ended up entering on this retrace and I entered around here. Okay. Now, because I entered here, my trade makes sense. I entered here, I put my stop above here. Okay, and then I took price all the way down to this blue line where I actually closed 100% of the trade. Okay, because this was my higher time frame target, this 6,500, and it's a large psychological level. Okay, so yeah, we were looking at that level. So I closed 100%. This was my risk because we had a nice retrace, and then this was my reward. Okay, so it was a little bit under a risk to reward of 1:2, guys. All right, and then as soon as it came down and hit this blue line, look at this bullish reaction we've had. Okay, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe price starts building up, yeah, or maybe price could start breaking down further. Yeah, we'll see today. Okay, guys, so that was the trade that I took yesterday. Yes, a pound against the Canadian dollar. And that was a successful trade, guys. All right, so I just wanted to show you that one. On Euro Canadian dollar and pound New Zealand dollar, I just didn't get a setup. And we can look at those in a minute if we have time. Right, yeah, so guys, please get all of your questions over to me. Okay, Kev, can you have a look at my only true love, Euro US dollar? As it's your true love, Kev, I can do this for you. I assume Gal Gadot is also scalping this today as well. You make a nice team, although she is my future wife, Kev, okay? Right, so let's have a look at Euro US dollar for Kev. Kev's one of our regular traders on the Discord channel, guys. Always posting great trade ideas, so check him out on the Discord channel. But let's take a look at Euro US dollar, guys, because I know this is a pair everyone looks at. She is, okay. So, guys, as always, I recommend everyone does a top-down approach. Yeah, you start with the weekly, down to the daily, H4, H1, and H1 or even M15 are my entry timeframes. So, what we're seeing with a lot of the US dollar majors is this. So prices was clearly in a downtrend, as we know, is in a downtrend for months, weeks, yeah. And then it's had a real rally recently, yeah, breaking this high and this high. The only problem is this rally here is very overbought, okay? So this is what I'm seeing on the weekly chart. It's very far away from my moving average 20. But weekly, we are now in an upward trend, upward structure. This example, Euro US dollar, is not as clear as some of the other pairs, but there is definitely an area of resistance here as well. Yeah, it was once support here and resistance here. So there's an area here of resistance, okay? And as you can see on the weekly chart, if I zoom in a little bit, yeah, I wouldn't say this is a hugely bearish reaction, but we have had a reaction. Yeah, this wick here, I know it's a green candle, guys, but it has rejected this zone. All right. If we then drop down to the day chart and see what's happening there. So the thing is with the day chart, guys, to start looking for shorts from this weekly zone, I need a breakdown in daily structure. And as you can see, daily structure is clearly in an uptrend. Okay, we have higher lows and we have higher highs. All right. So structurally, it's clearly in an uptrend. But again, you should do this, guys. You should look at what the candlesticks are telling you. So at the moment, we've got bearish candlesticks. Yeah, this is a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern, and this is a bearish candle because it has no lower wick. And then if you look at the buyers are pretty non-existent. The buyers are just creating dojis. All right, so there's a bit of indecision, and I'm going to tell you why there's indecision. Because we now have this zone here. So you're basically hitting the last daily highs here. Okay, this zone through here. Yeah, so we've got this weekly selling pressure, all right, which we saw, and then we've got this buying daily pressure, because you know this is normally a good setup, guys. What was once resistance, when it breaks, becomes good support. Okay, all right, so this is what we're seeing on the euro. Again, I will need to see, you know, the charts don't lie. I'm going to wait for them to tell me what's happening. So I want to see a couple of things happen. So price could come back up to here and test these last highs, therefore creating a double top. Yeah, we get a double top. Maybe we get a bearish reaction, you know, and we can start taking price lower. Okay, but for me, guys, I like to see a breakdown in structure. So this is obviously the last daily low, something like this. Get a break of structure, and then we can start trading this short. Okay, if you put if just by looking at the weekly chart and the daily chart, and if you put you said, Tom, I will pull your fingernails out unless you give me a direction with this pair, then I would buy this pair. I would buy this pair back up to these last highs. Yeah, because think of the psychology, guys. If you want to, and also the big banks, yeah, and hedge funds, if they want to start shorting this, they want to take price back up to these highs. Yeah, because this is where all your stops will be. Your stops will be in here. So they'll probably come up, take out all of your stops, and then price will start coming down. Okay, so I would look for buys up to these last highs here. But Kev, I know you are a scalper, so let's get down to the 1 minute chart. I'm only joking, I'm not crazy. We'll look at the H4 and H1. So like I say, guys, price has found, yeah, and as you can see, it's quite clear this grey zone is an important zone, yeah? It reacted here, and it's been reacting here as well. All right, so yeah, like I say, guys, I think we could start looking for longs back up to this high, yeah? But if price starts breaking below this grey zone, we're looking for shorts, okay? And because of this weekly selling pressure and this daily buying pressure, look how scruffy this price action is. Yeah, this price action here. Yeah, it's just a box of indecision, guys, really. Just absolute choppy, horrible, disgusting price action. Yeah, quite untradeable, really. Okay, but again, let's go down to the H1 chart and see what we are seeing. So, yeah, what I would want to see on the H1, guys, if I'm going to trade this, is this. Okay, so we've got this important zone, yeah, and also down here as well, guys. But this sort of forms part of this larger grey zone below. Yeah, so what I would want to see, guys, is something like this. Let's zoom out a little bit. So structurally, yeah, price came down and it just keeps hitting this grey zone and then reacting. And we're in a bit of a sideways market here, really. Okay, so what I'd want to see, I think you can take buys, yeah, up to the top of this range. Okay, So buys up to the top of this range, close 80%. If price breaks out of this range, retest, then I think we can come back up to these last highs. Okay, so we can trade the range. If we get a break of the range, we can also trade longs up to here. All right, Kev. So yeah, I hope that helps with you with the euro US dollar today. Yeah, so I hope that helps. John, morning, John. How are you? I hope you are well. Can we have a look at Aussie dollar, Swiss franc? Certainly, John. We can do this, no problem. So yeah, Aussie dollar, Swiss franc. This is potentially one of my trade ideas for today, guys. So it'll be an interesting one to look at. So Aussie dollar, Swiss franc. Let's do a top-down approach again, guys. Morning, DTV. How are you? So yeah, let's start with the weekly chart, guys. All right. Some of my gray zones are still in here and they still make sense. Okay. So weekly chart, guys. Yeah, price. This gray zone was the all-important gray zone. It kept holding and pushing price up. Yeah, kept holding and pushing price up. But now on the weekly chart, we've had a break of this zone. Okay, and we are clearly in a downtrend as well. Yeah, we've got lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And guys, yeah, this happens time and time again. It's found a bit of resistance in our gray zone. Okay, and ever since then, it's been shooting downwards. All right, so everything on the weekly chart is telling us to short this pair. Okay, if we also zoom in a bit and have a look at the candles, yeah, look at this is very bearish candles. Yeah, we've got this candle here which sort of starts this bearish sequence, and then the buyers are not really interested, and then we get another bearish candle. Okay, so yeah, everything's telling us to short this pair, but obviously there's been some resistance here, some support here. If we then drop down to the day chart, guys, all right, let's drop down to the day chart. What are we seeing? So we're seeing this, guys. Yeah, this gray zone has now become the important zone. So price come up to that weekly level, very choppy price action, but eventually we got a break. Yeah, broke all of these lows. Okay, so this candle here changed the structure of this pair. Excuse my drawing. It's this. It's the vodka. Okay, so yeah, we're structurally in a downtrend. All right. So again, everything's telling us to short this pair. If we zoom out a little bit, we've also got yesterday's candle that broke. Yeah, this candle, yesterday's candle, this candle here broke these lows. Okay, and broke below it. Yeah, you can see the close of this candle. I'm only interested in where the body of the candle finishes, guys, not the wick. That's very important to mention. So, yeah, for all of these reasons, I am looking for shorts. Yeah, but the million-dollar question for us is going to be, where will it retrace to before it comes lower? Yeah, that's what we need to know. So we're going to drop down to the H4 chart now. And this gray zone I put in was a H4 gray zone, really. Okay. Oh, let me remove that. So I've had to zoom out quite a bit. Let me maximize my screen. There you go. There you go. So yeah, this gray zone has proven to be very important. Okay. And it incorporates the last H4 high as well. So price could retrace here. Let's zoom in a little bit further and go down to the H1 chart now, guys. Okay, because we want to see potentially other gray zones as well. And again, how I plot my gray zones, guys, is I just want to see where price is reacting. And it is reacting in all of here. Yeah, so look, I've plotted this gray zone. Why? Because price has reacted here, currently reacting here, reacted here, reacted here, reacted here. Okay, so we've got our two gray zones mapped out now, and this is where price could react. So, I mean, we have already had a bullish candle form, yeah, with this pair. Let me zoom in, guys. Yeah, so we've got our two grey zones mapped out. We have already had this bullish candle. So yeah, we could potentially take price back down to these lows. We've had a bit of a retrace. Okay, so potentially we could start looking for shorts now. Let me check the H4. Just let me tell me what that's telling me. Just looking at these candles, guys, yeah? And the bottoms of these, look at the bottom of this red wick and these bullish candles. It's not filling me with confidence to start shorting this pair right now. Okay, I mean, let's also look at the 15-minute chart. Okay, so that has broken down. This would be a good entry on the M15 chart. Yeah, these are all the things I look at when I'm about to take a trade. Yeah, and it's come back up to these last lows. So here could be a good entry for shorts. Yeah, so potentially this could be a good trade now, guys. How I would trade it was enter here, but I would put a buy order here. Okay. Yeah, check out my tutorial for that, guys. We haven't got time to explain that, but check out my tutorial vid, trading without a stop loss. And we're using a buy order or a sell order instead. It's very interesting. So yeah, so price is reacting here. All right, so we could potentially enter the trade now, take price back down to these lows, close 80%, and then leave 20% to run. Or guys, price could come up to this grey zone. Yeah, this is where I would have my buy order. I would take it up to this grey zone, and then I want to see a bearish reaction, and then I could start taking this lower again. Okay, so Aussie dollar Swiss franc is a trade for today, guys. It's a trade idea. John, great minds think alike. And these would be my two zones to start entering this pair. It really does depend how much it wants to retrace, guys. Does it retrace to here or here? And that's one of the reasons why I place buy orders. Yeah, I take a buy order up to here, close it, and then look for longs, shorts again, sorry. All right, so Aussie dollar Swiss franc is a trade idea for shorts today, guys. Okay, so thank you, John, for the question. Calvin Lee, any tips on drawing grey zones? 10-second guess myself in drawing them. Okay, Calvin, so like I just showed you, yeah, with these grey zones, I'm just looking to see where price reacts, and I'm trying to include most of where it reacts. Yeah, so this candle I drew here, sorry, not this candle, this grey zone I drew here, this grey zone here. Yeah, so I was just seeing where price reacted. It reacted here, arguably reacted here, and it's currently reacting here. So my grey zone tries to incorporate all of these. Yeah, it just increases your probability of price reacting there. Okay, so yeah, just look back, on any time frame. Yeah, it could be a daily time frame, weekly time frame. Just look back and find where price has reacted. Yeah. All right, so just go back historically and look where price has reacted. If we look at the day chart, yeah, the larger grey zone that I drew in. Let's go to the weekly chart actually. Yeah, so let's zoom out. So this weekly chart, it doesn't matter what time frame, Calvin, we are just looking to see where price reacts. So in this weekly chart, price reacted here, 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 and here. So my grey zone incorporates all of those. Obviously on the weekly chart, this grey zone will be humongous. This is like, 150, 60 pips. But yeah, you could look how price reacts in that grey zone and comes down. All right, Calvin, so look at historical price action to find your grey zones. Okay. What's next? John Mary KE. Morning, John Mary. Aussie dollar, US dollar. Let's have a look. So Aussie dollar, US dollar, again, I know what I'm looking for this already. I've already done my analysis this morning, and it's all about a breakdown in the daily structure. Okay. So let's start with this weekly chart. Okay. And imagine, guys, you only traded the weekly chart. Yeah. What would this tell you? So I've already got my grey zone in. All right. And this weekly chart, yeah, this grey zone proved to be, yeah, good support. Okay. When it breaks, comes back up, it potentially becomes good resistance, okay, to take price lower. So if we just looked at the weekly chart, we would be looking for shorts back down to these lows. Okay. Also, guys, so we need to look at structure. This is what I suggest you do every day, guys. You look at structure, you look at your support and resistance levels, and you look at what the candlesticks are telling you. So structure, downtrend. Okay. Gray zone, mapped out. Okay, now what are the candlesticks telling you? And yeah, you don't have to be an expert on candlesticks to tell us that this candle is very bearish. It's a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. To be honest with you, I don't care what the names of the candlesticks are. This candle just tells me sellers mean business. Yeah. So just looking at this, I think we have a bit of room to the downside. If it comes back and hits the lows, I don't know. Yeah, I will let the market tell me, but we definitely have room to the downside is what I'm seeing. So on the day chart, that's what we're seeing, guys. All right. On the day chart now, let's take a look. So the problem here is, well, not the problem, but the day trend held yesterday. Yeah. So on the day chart, we're clearly in an uptrend. Yeah, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Yeah, you can clearly see that's in an uptrend. But this low here is the all-important zone. Okay, this is so important because if this breaks, yeah, structure has changed. But as you can see yesterday, this candle didn't break this structure. The close of the candle, guys, remember the close of the candle is what I'm interested in. This wick tells me buyers have come into the party as well. All right, so we haven't had a breakdown here. Let me remove this larger gray zone, okay, because I want to show you this gray zone. So this area here becomes important, okay, yeah, because it hasn't broken. But if price comes up, yeah, retest, and we get a bit of a break of this level, we are off to the downside, and we are hugely supported by the weekly chart as well. So everything will tell us to come down. All right. So that's what I'm seeing with Aussie dollar, US dollar. It's all about the break of this gray zone here. Okay. And yesterday it just didn't break. Yeah, it would have done on the H4. If we go down to the H4, yeah, we saw a break. Yeah, this did break. Yeah, we see with this candle, the lows broke. But on the day chart, it closed back into this gray zone. We have not broken this gray zone. All right. So, yeah, all about this gray zone. You know, again, I'll let the market tell me how to trade this. But if I had a crystal ball, perhaps this. Price comes back up to here. Yeah, this level here. And we see some kind of head and shoulders pattern. Yeah, so we've got shoulder, head, shoulder. Yeah, if we see this pattern, yeah, that's what potentially we could see. All right. Another scenario is price just breaks this level, retests it, we come down. Yeah, there's lots of different scenarios, but it's all about this gray zone, guys, on Aussie dollar, US dollar. Let's drop down to the H4 chart. I mean, the H4 chart tells us we've had a break. Yeah, so the H4 chart, yeah, tells us we've broken this level, broken this gray zone. But on the day chart, it paints a very different picture. That's why it's so important to look at all the time frames, guys. Weekly, daily, H4, H1. Yeah, you need to know the bigger picture. If you didn't see the bigger picture, you would just be shorting this. Okay, so if we look at this, this becomes an interesting level. All right, so this level through here. Okay, let's do it back here. All right, so this is an important level, guys, on the H4. So as you can see, price has reacted many times at this level. Going back to your question, Calvin, yeah, look historically at price action. reacted here, reacted here. It's reacted many times here. If, yeah, we get price come up to here and we get a very bearish reaction, okay, we could probably steal some pips back down to this grey zone. But if price breaks this zone and comes back up, then that head and shoulders pattern is more realistic that I showed you. Okay, so John Mary, I hope that helps you with yeah, Aussie dollar, US dollar. John, that's where I put my grey zones. Great minds. This is what we like to see, and already in selling it. Okay. All right. So John is selling Aussie dollar, Swiss franc as we speak. Jade, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. Let's take a look at that for you. So Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, guys. All right. So what is happening with this? First and foremost, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar is the slowest moving currency pair in the world. Yeah, I'm sure it's in the Guinness Book of Records or something. I don't know. All right, so Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. I mean, you don't need to be Warren Buffett to firstly see that is in a downtrend, but you also don't need to be Warren Buffett to see how oversold this pair is. All right. Downtrend, but very oversold. All right, so we've looked at structure. Let's try and find some support and resistance levels now. Okay, so if I zoom out, yeah, so there are a couple through here. So there's a level through here. Bear with me, yeah, okay, that looks good. It doesn't, this low here perplexes me. This low here perplexes me. Little things perplex me like that. Okay, so, or we have this grey zone, these last lows down here. All right, so on the weekly chart, yeah, we've got to ask ourselves, could price potentially find a bit of a retrace up here before it comes lower, or is price going to just continue down to these very last lows here? All right, so, and remember guys, we also need to look at the candles, and this candle here is bearish, yeah, super bearish, and broken out of this grey zone. Okay, so looking at that, guys, yeah, we think price could come back down to these lows. But again, let's look at all of the different time frames. I look at all of the different time frames, guys, because your job as a trader is to get as much confluence as possible in order to make informed trading decisions. Yeah, so look at all of them. Look at all the charts, get as much information as you can. This is exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, so Jade wants to look at Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. I'm just gathering information and reasons why I will buy it, sell it, or stay out the market. Yeah, that's all. That's the only decisions you need to make. So day chart, yeah, it's still clearly in a downtrend. So structurally, we had a bit of chop, but then it broke that level. And now price has come back up into a very interesting level. Okay. All right. So that's what I'm seeing on the day chart. Again, sellers are in control for me, but it'll be interesting to see where this daily candle finishes. Obviously, it hasn't finished yet. Yeah. So that's what we're seeing on the day chart. It's at an interesting level. So let's drop down to the lower time frames to see if we can get some more information. So purely by looking at the H4 chart. Okay, so we've got grey zones overlapping grey zones here. All right, so let me remove that larger grey zone so we can have a better look. And these were previous areas that I looked at. Let's remove this because this has become less significant, but this is still fully intact, guys. Yeah, this last area, these last highs here. Yeah, again, if you carry it across, you'll see it hits more price action. Yeah, this area here. So this grey zone is a good grey zone for today. And what we're seeing here, guys, on the H4, So if I had to trade this right now, we are clearly seeing an uptrend on the H4. And we're seeing very bullish candles. Yeah, look at this bullish candle, yeah, followed by a bullish candle. And again, it'll be interesting to see what this candle looks like. So just by looking at this chart, I think we have room back up to these highs. And then remember, our weekly and daily time frame is telling us, you know, we can look for short. So once price gets up to here, we can buy up to here. And then once it gets here, we want to see a breakdown. And then we can start shorting this pair as well. All right, so we could, yeah, trade, we could buy and sell this pair, depending on how much movement we get today. And Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar is not known for its big moves. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm seeing on Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, Jade. I hope that helps you. Oil, I'm looking at that sell, but I should wait for confirmation, but took me out. All right, oil. Okay, so let's have a look at oil for DTV. Oil, I was looking for a sell, but I should wait for confirmation because it took me out. Yeah, oil's a tricky one. Again, I've already looked at this morning. Let's have a look at oil. Oil. Weekly chart. Let's start with the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, yeah, I would suggest we have room down to these levels. Just looking at the weekly chart. All right, because price is clearly in a downtrend. Yeah, broke these lows again. Yeah, we're in a downtrend. How much will it retrace? We'll see. I think we could potentially have room back down to these last lows here. So on the weekly chart, that's what I'm seeing. Also, if we look at the candles, guys, on the weekly chart, bearish. Bearish, bearish. This candle, this green candle, is bullish, bounced off of these lows, but then bang, bearish. Okay, and this wick on this just tells me sellers are in control. Then we drop down to the day chart. Okay, again, we're gathering information. And on the day chart, we're seeing a downtrend. Yeah, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Is this the last high? Yeah, we don't really know yet. Okay, we don't really know, but it could be. Okay, so on the day chart, we're seeing that. But what we're also seeing on the day chart is price reacting at this grey zone. So price has come back into this grey zone. So we're seeing a bit of buying pressure, but then we're clearly in a downtrend. So we're seeing selling pressure. All right, so there might be a little bit of confusion with oil. As a result, you might see a bit of this action. All right, and then maybe a bit of indecision, then a winner. Maybe this way or this way. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing on oil. Again, let's drop down to the H4 chart. Ugly price action because of all of these wicks. Look at all these wicks on the top side, all of these wicks on the bottom side, which just tells me buyers and sellers are fighting. So to be honest with you, I would stay out of this pair. Remember, your decisions are buy the market, sell the market, or stay the hell out. And I would just stay the hell out. I need to see a winner. I need to see a break of these zones. If we get a break down here, I'm selling. If we get a break above here, I'm buying. All right, so that's what I want to see on oil DTV. It's in a very sellers meet buyers area, basically. All right, so I hope that helps you with gold. US dollar Japanese, so number 108 RK Books. I love your name. Yeah, it reminds me of Star Wars, which I love. I love Star Wars. Okay, so also Yamin, you want to look at US dollar, Japanese yen as well. Okay, so I am looking at yen pairs today. All right, but let's start with US dollar, Japanese yen. So let's start with the weekly chart. And on the weekly chart, yeah, price was clearly in an uptrend, still is technically, yeah, but then we've had all of this selling pressure. It's been, not only has it been yen strength, but it's been US dollar weakness. And it's taken us all the way back down to this important grey zone. Okay, so US dollar against Japanese yen, it's difficult to sell this pair because I would be selling into weekly support. All right, but everything is selling. Yeah, look at buyers when they enter the market, they're non-existent. The buyers, the red candles are like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the green candles are like Herman Pee-wee. I don't know if that's even a character. Somebody not so strong. All right, so yeah, sellers are in control, but we've hit this area of support. That's the problem, guys. Okay, if we go to the day chart, yeah, again, we're at this area, but we are in a downtrend. Yeah, we're in a downtrend. Okay, breaking these lows and even these lows. But like I say, we're at this weekly support level. So US dollar yen is a tricky one now. I don't want to keep shorting this pair because we're at weekly resistance. And I don't want to buy this pair because, firstly, look at this candle. Yeah, and because of all the all the things mentioned in the Japanese, in the Bank of Japan's press conference yesterday, yeah, talking about the yield curve, talking about buying bonds, gave the yen real strength. So I would stay out of this market. I don't want to buy it. I don't want to sell it. So I will stay the hell out. Okay, I need to see what happens in this grey zone. Okay, but because we saw that yen strength, it doesn't mean I cannot trade the yen. I just cannot trade this US dollar Japanese yen, yeah, because of the reasons I explained. But one of my trade ideas for today is potentially Canadian dollar yen and Swiss franc Japanese yen short. So US dollar yen I can't trade for those reasons. But then if we look at CAD yen, for example, CAD yen is a different story, all right? So firstly, on the weekly chart, before we see any kind of resistance, we'll be down, sorry, any kind of support, will be down to this level. So this is what you need to look for, guys. So firstly, yeah, it's broken out of this very important weekly zone. Yeah, there is an area here of concern, but it seems to have broken that. So we have room to move into on the weekly chart, whereas US dollar Japanese yen, we simply didn't have room to move into. Then we're going to go down to the day chart and see what's happening. And as we know, a huge bearish candle formed, but we are clearly in a downtrend. Okay, all right, and we had this box of indecision here, followed by a very bearish candle. Yeah, I like this. The problem is the candle's so bearish. Yeah, so again, the $1 million question is, where will it retrace to before it starts coming down? Okay, and there's a few things we can look at. So we drop down to the lower time frames for some clues. So this is a trade idea to short Canadian dollar Japanese yen. All right, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a grey box. Yeah, so this is clearly an area that we are interested in. Yeah, price keeps hitting this level. Price has reacted. If price has reacted historically at this level, chances are it will react again. But this means price has to retrace all the way up to here. Will that happen? I don't know. Okay, but it could. All right, so that's what we're seeing on the H4. Then we're going to drop down to the H1. Have we got any more clues? And the answer is we only really have this grey zone, this area through here. Yeah, so these are the last, yeah, H1 highs. And price came down, it's been testing this level. I mean, yeah, so this grey zone also becomes an area because of these, they're the last H1 highs pretty much. So what do we want to see, guys? We want to see price retrace into this grey zone. Yeah, we get a bearish reaction. We can then take price lower, back down to these lows. I close 80%. Sorry about my 80%, because that's how I roll. Yeah, and then I leave 20% to run. Okay, so yeah, that is one potential way of trading this pair, but it could retrace all the way back up to here. Again, if we get all the way back up to here, imagine this is an elastic band. So price has dropped, and then the elastic band is just been drawn, pulled, 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 and then when we let it go, you are going to get a very quick reaction. All right, so yeah, it depends how, if it retraces to here, expect a very aggressive reaction. Yeah, so price could react up here. Again, we want to see a bearish reaction. I would probably close 80% at this level. I would get a good risk to reward still, and then I'd let 20% run. All right, guys, so Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. You could see how we couldn't trade US dollar, Japanese yen, but we can trade Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. All right. Also, my other trade idea for today is another yen pair, is Swiss franc. I call it the CHFJPY, but Swiss franc, Japanese yen. And it's the same idea, guys, but we have the same problem. All right. So price has broken down. It's even broken these levels here, this level, this level. So price was in a downtrend anyway. Yeah. And then price come back up, tested these last highs where my gray zone is, and then it shot back down. And again, obviously this is news driven from what the yen said yesterday. And guys, can I just say, if you're enjoying this analysis, then come join us. Yeah, subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash the like button, guys. Yeah, greatly appreciated. We'd love to have you on the channel. Come join us. I give you this analysis every day. I give you the gray zones, what I'm looking at every single day. So come join us. So again, the similar trade to Canadian yen, it's where will it retrace to before we can come back down? All right. So let's look for some clues on the lower time frames. So H4, what are we seeing? All right, so let me remove this blue line. This was an old target. So, yeah, I'm seeing this through here. This is clearly an area where price has reacted. Yeah, reacted. Right, so an important gray zone. I would also put in this area here. Yeah, these last lows, potentially an area. Okay, it's not much historical data, obviously, just this bit, but it could be a potential level. All right, then we're going to drop down to the H1 chart, and we're going to see if these gray zones make sense. And to be honest with you guys, they do. Yeah, so I wouldn't change these gray zones. I might. Where's my gray zone finish? I need to get the end of it. I might just move it up, just to incorporate this little bit of price action here. Okay, so my gray zones make sense now. Yeah, I just wanted, why I moved that gray zone, I just wanted to include these highs. Okay, so how we can trade this, guys? Price could retrace into this gray zone. All right, we get a bearish reaction, and then we can take price back down to the last H1 lows, close some of the profit, and then let it run. If that doesn't happen, guys, then it could retrace up to this gray zone. And again, we just want to see a bearish reaction, and then we can take price back down. Okay, so we've got two gray levels here, guys. And also, guys, yeah, I've been playing around with fib levels. Fib levels can also be a good area for you to look for shorts, guys. Okay, so these are the most common fib levels. Yeah, 0.618, 0.5, and 0.382. And this could just act as another piece of confluence, guys. So this level nicely ties in with this gray zone, and this level nicely ties in with this gray zone. All right, so yeah, this could give us another piece of confluence to take shorts from these levels. Okay, the most powerful fib level is probably the 0.5 fib level. Could even retrace and react there, guys. All right, so just worth noting the fib levels. It can add to your idea for the trade. So guys, just to recap, Aussie dollar, Swiss franc short, Canadian dollar, Japanese yen short, and Swiss franc, Japanese yen short. Those are my trade ideas for today. Okay, let's take a look at more of your questions, guys. Eric, I don't trade the German indice. Yeah, I don't trade that. I'll find it. I'll find it and I'll put it up on my charts for next time, Eric, if you're looking at that. We can look at that another time. Yemin wants to look at pound Japanese yen. Okay, so let's look at pound Japanese yen. Before we do, guys, another thing I'm looking at is some of the the Canadian dollar pairs. Yeah, they're so overbought. New Zealand Canadian dollar is still an interesting level. Yeah, it's coming down, guys. Again, I'll just show you one example, but look at a few of the Canadian dollar pairs. Yeah, they are coming down. There are important weekly levels. Yeah, I just want to show you what I'm looking at, guys. Yeah, so you can see on the weekly chart, yeah, there are important levels here. And we're currently getting a very bearish reaction. So I think we have room back down to this grey zone if this candle stays like this. And again, if we look at the day chart, guys, this is not a trade idea, but this is what I'm looking at. Yeah, you can see price is breaking down now. Okay, so if we get a good setup, I think we can take price back down to here. All right, guys, so you'll also see that on pound Canadian dollar, euro Canadian dollar. All right, so yeah, keep an eye out for a few of the Canadian dollar pairs. Okay, I just wanted to show you that, and now let's look at GBP Japanese yen. Okay, pound Japanese yen, it's going to be the same as all the other yen pairs, but this yen pair I stayed out of. Let me explain why. Because if we go to the weekly chart, guys, okay, it's not so clear on the weekly chart. Let's go to the daily chart. Yeah, I'm still seeing this area through here. This was clearly an important area once before. Yeah, historically, price reacted here, 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 here. And, you know, we're at this grey zone. So I looked at all the yen pairs, guys, but Canadian dollar yen and Swiss franc Japanese yen gave me the best setup because they weren't selling into potential support. And this is, guys, all right? So pound yen, how I would trade this, purely on the day chart, I think we can take price back up to these last lows here, or even these last lows, get a bearish reaction and take it back down to this grey zone. So we could buy it up to here and then short it from there. All right, guys, so that's what I'm looking for on pound yen. Okay, so let's look at this quickly as well. So Yaman says how to get the confirmation. So confirmation means different things for different people, but confirmation for me is a breakdown in structure. Yeah, so let's go back to the Aussie dollar, US dollar example. Okay, so if you remember this, we looked at this earlier, guys. So confirmation for me, remember on the weekly chart, because price had come back and tested this important level through, excuse me, let me draw a grey zone. Let me draw a blue line, yeah, because this area through here is an important area. Okay, yeah, it was once support and now it's becoming resistance. And so confirmation can be a few things. So confirmation for me, we have got a very bearish reaction at our weekly chart. Tick. Okay, first piece we need to see. This fills me with confidence for shorts. All right. Then we go down to the day chart. Second piece of confirmation I need is a breakdown in structure. Yeah, price is in an uptrend. Okay, and it hasn't broke this low. So it is still potentially in an uptrend. So Price breaking down in structure, not check. Yeah, I haven't had confirmation yet. For confirmation for me would be a break in structure, retest, come back down. That's what I want to see on Aussie dollar, US dollar. Okay. But you need more confirmation in terms of, you might use indicators. You need indicators to confirm things to you. Yeah, you need candlestick patterns to confirm things to you. Yeah, it depends what your strategy is, yeah, men. So there's many things we can look for confirmation. Number 108, Arcade Books, you are welcome. Song Love, this is wonderful. Thank you, Song Love. I always love your name, Song and Love. Yeah, it makes me happy. What is the fake confirmation? This, yeah. So price broke down, but then closed back into this grey zone. That was a fake out. Yeah. If we look on the H4, guys, yeah. Remember, I explained the other week how to trade a breakout. So with a breakout, guys, this is the H4. Yeah. We saw this bearish red candle. Yeah, and we are thinking, right, we've got a break of the daily lows. Yeah, it's broken this level. Let's short, short, short. If you're trading a breakout, the low of this candle needs to be taken out very quickly. Yeah, breakout is momentum trading. Yeah, imagine you broke out of JPY. You're not going to break out of JPY, then stop. Yeah, you're going to continue. So it's the same. Yeah, it's a continuation momentum trade. And we don't get a break of these lows. It doesn't happen. As soon as I see this green candle close back into this gray zone, I would exit my trade. Yeah, I didn't take this trade, but I would exit that trade immediately, because you haven't got momentum. Instead, you've got rejection. Okay. So yeah, important thing to look out for when you're trading breakouts or potential fake outs. Right, guys. Guys. All right, so John, you're in that trade. Good. So the 15-minute chart's looking good and breaking down nicely. Yeah, it gave us a good entry there on the 15-minute. We're going to do gold. We're going to do gold extremely quickly. Okay, so gold is another difficult one. All right. So weekly chart. Yeah, weekly chart. We're in an uptrend. It was in a downtrend. As soon as this last high was broken, we wasn't making lower lows. Yeah, we got a break of structure. When we broke this, we are now in an uptrend. So weekly, we're in an uptrend. But again, the problem you're going to have, we are at a very important weekly grey zone. Okay, yeah, and price is reacting here. And guys, if you would like to get these grey zones every morning, I plot these grey zones every morning. I look at all the currency pairs. I look at gold, oil, indices. So come join us, guys, and I'll give you this analysis every morning. So subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and also smash that like button, guys. Come join us. Come join the gang. All right, so back to the analysis. That's the problem we're seeing. Okay, then we're going to look at the day chart. Okay, and price here is potentially telling us we want to push through this grey zone. Yeah, but this high here still hasn't broken. Okay, but look at the bullishness of this yesterday's candle. Okay, that will also be yen driven. Yen and gold strength are highly correlated. And also, guys, remember, gold is a flight to safety currency, commodity, because so when the indices are dropping, like we've seen, gold will become strong. Yeah, it's important to understand these correlations. But I need to see a break of this high. Okay, if today's candle breaks through this high and looks something like this, a green candle, I would be looking for a retrace and then buys. Okay, but I cannot trade it at the moment because we're at this high. I cannot buy into this high, okay, because we're at that weekly resistance level. But, you know, everything on the day chart is telling us uptrend. But again, but we're at that weekly resistance level. So interesting to see how this daily candle today finishes. How this candle finishes today will really dictate if we can take gold higher, yeah, if we get a break of this low, or if it closes back down into this grey zone, that weekly level is still strong. All right, so that's what I'm seeing on gold. Today, I would just stay out of this pair and wait for today's candle. Okay, guys, so yeah, I hope that answers for your queries about gold. Guys, let's take a look at the news now quickly. Okay, so news for Wednesday, the 28th of the 21st, not 28th. Christmas hasn't been and gone. Wednesday, the 21st of December. I'm doing too many things at once, guys. So news for Wednesday, the 21st of December, guys. This is big news for Canadian dollar. All right, so nothing overnight. But the news we're interested in is this. At 1:30 London GMT, coming out of Canada, we've got core CPI. And we all know how important CPI is because of the inflation at the moment. All right, so this could really move Canadian dollar. Okay, so keep an eye out for that, guys. And at 3 o'clock, we've got two pieces of news coming out of the US. We've got consumer confidence and we've got existing home sales. And then finally at 5:30 London GMT, we've got crude oil inventory. So again, this could affect the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. All right, guys. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this morning's live stream. If you have, come join us, subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button and smash that like button, guys. Have a great trading day, a great week, and I'll see you tomorrow for more daily analysis.